back with us on the C Morning Show. Similar to humans, all animals deserve to live a good life that is free from suffering. Animal protection is important since animals are part of our planet's biodiversity. And this means by harming animals, we also harm the environment, which in turn can harm us as well.
Cyclical, isn't it? Now, we're going to discuss more about animal protection. We have with us, joining us this morning in the studio, the co-founder of Neta Satwa Nusantara, Davina Veronica Hariadi. Thank you for joining us today. Good morning.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, all.
Good morning.
So let's start off by talking about Neta Satwa Nusantara. When did you start it and what is it actually all about?
Okay, first of all, forgive my English. Indonesia is my mother tongue, anyways. Neta Satwa Nusantara Foundation, founded in 2019, which formerly Garda Satwa Indonesia Foundation, established in 2014.
Yes.
Yeah. So from there, we have rescued around 1,000 dogs and cats. And right now, we have about 120 dogs and 200 cats under our care in our temporary shelter.
Who need home?
Sorry?
Who need home. Actually.
Yes, also. These pets are being prepared to be rehomed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the purpose here is is basically to rescue strays, most of them, and to be able to find them proper homes. And that is the biggest challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, so we are an Indonesian non-profit organization dedicated to reducing the pets in need, you know, to also to for developing developing compassion, caring, responsible behavior towards animals, also preventing cruelty and neglect, with also our programs, which is like animal welfare education, community development, dogs and cats rescue, dogs and cats veterinary rehabilitation, and also dogs and cats rehoming. So that's our program.
So in terms of fighting animal cruelty and neglect, what's the current situation in Indonesia? And why is it happening?
Right now, the animal welfare situation is overwhelming. Yeah. So what we need is massive education campaign, so that people aware that animals need us, especially the domestic one. They depend on us because they also have rights to live a good life. So right now, there's still so many reports that we found. We work based on reports, and so it's still very a lot of reports that come to us that we still need to do something about it, you know.
When you talk about animal rights, what are they? Because I found...
Legally, right? Especially.
Yeah, legally, because I have 2 dogs who are adopted from institutions or bodies like what you're currently managing. So what are animal rights that we should know so that we can avoid animal cruelty and neglect?
Yeah, animals have right to be free from thirst and hunger, from stress. They have a freedom to express their natural behavior. You know, they need to be free from pain, from sickness. You know, those stuff, and we need that. We need people to be aware of that, because animals also have feelings. You know, since I was a little girl, I have a very strong bond with animals, especially the domestic one, dogs, and I learned so much from them that humans are not the only species that have mind, character, and feelings. They do too.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. And animals are here with us. So they also have rights, you know, and they also needs to be protected. So if we are a decent human being, I think we should care about their welfare. This is not about you like animals or you don't like animals. It's more about humanity, you know. We should care about them too, because this also their planet.
We're sharing this earth
Yeah,
with them.
we're sharing this earth with them, you know. So I think we need to have a proper laws and regulation to protect them. And right now,
Do we have it? Or do we have the
yes, we
draft at
do,
least? Okay.
but it's very weak.
Right. Why is it weak?
We think it's because it's not a urgent matters in our country.
Yeah.
Animal is not a prioritized in our country, but I think Indonesia should start to prioritize animal welfare, because to be honestly, I mean, the international world don't like violence or any kind of cruelty towards animals, and it gives Indonesia a bad name. So I think the government should start care about animal welfare, you know, and don't take it personally. I mean, it's about the right thing to do, you know, it's about humanity. If we care about our people, we also have to care about, you know, other living beings
yeah.
in this planet Earth. Yeah.
It's quite interesting what you mentioned earlier about how there are laws, but these laws, there's a lack of enforcement when it comes to these laws, and it's up to groups like yourself to try to make people more aware of this. But I've got some more alarming data that our production team has provided from the Asia for Animal Coalition,
Yes.
which says that Indonesia is the country that generates the most animal abuse content in the world. We're talking about online content here. Out of the 5,480 animal abuse videos collected from YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok between July of 2020 and August of 2021, so basically 1 year, 1,626 of them originated from Indonesia.
Yes.
So why do you suppose this trend is happening? Because, you know, strays are one thing, neglect is another, but this is a whole new level where they're actually showcasing what they're doing.
Yeah, I think here's the situation here in Indonesia, because all this time, the government haven't take a firm stance. So therefore, the people here thinks that it's okay to hurt animals,
Okay.
you know, because so what I'm saying is the government should take a stand, you know, because the government is a representative of the people, of the society. If the government is firm that any kind of violence or cruelty towards animals are not allowed, then the people will follow. The society will follow.
Yes.
You know, we believe so. So because of the government haven't been, you know, prioritized for the protection for these animals. So there you go. There's so many cruelty and violence towards these animals.
It's almost like little kids when they're doing something wrong at home and you don't reprimand them properly, they're just going to keep doing it because they think, well, I guess I'm not getting punished for it, I guess.
And it's also our purpose to approach and collaborate with the government for you know, to lobby for a stronger law and regulation, you know, because right now animal welfare in Indonesia, like I said before, is overwhelming. We want change. We want change, so in the future, it's not gonna be like right now, you know.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. So we want change, but in order to reach that goal, policy change is needed.
Yeah.
Great.
And along with the massive education, with massive education and campaign, everything.
When you say about education, what do you mean by that? Because yes, of course, we need regulations from the government, because Like, for example, with plastic bags in Jakarta and Bali,
That's
when the
right.
government says, okay, no more plastic bags in supermarkets, and suddenly everyone bring their own bags, right?
No choice.
No choice. We need
Right.
regulations, but at the same time, we need to change the way the public thinks about animals. So how do we change that so that we can reduce the number of video content that shows animal cruelty? That's just horrible, and it's just embarrassing for Indonesia, actually.
Yeah, yeah. One of the significant problems to foundation, to organization like us, is a lack of public awareness about, this welfare of these animals. But we continuously, we're not tired to do it by doing the education from school to school, also doing campaign through all social media, because we're here as their voice. Yeah, we need to speak out for them. Yeah, we're gonna continue like that, as long as we live, as long as I live, and my colleagues. So yeah, I think education, awareness is very important, because like I said to you both before, that a lot of people in here still think that animals don't have feelings, that animals are just animals, but they do have feelings.
Yeah,
they feel like us also.
Absolutely.
I mean, they feel pain, they feel loneliness,
Yes.
they feel,
They can cry.
stress also. I mean, like my dogs at home, if they saw me packing, they were like, "Where are you going, Mom? For how long? Who's gonna be with us?" I was like, "Oh my God!" And one of them, and I found out one of them is sleeping on my suitcase, inside my suitcase.
Oh, you figured it out.
Yeah, it was like, "Please don't go, or
Bring the
take me
bag,
with
I'm going
you.
with the
Yeah, I'm going with you wherever you go. I'm coming."
Oh, that is so sweet, but it's so
No,
true.
but it's also
And,
proof.
So true.
And animals also have characters. I have 5 dogs at home, and they all have different characters. Oh my God.
Yes. No, that's true.
Yeah,
I have
right?
2, and they are very different. One is
Yeah.
quite
And you have
a bit of an introvert, and one is very loving, very excited all the time.
And you have to satisfy each of them. I'm like, okay. So yeah, I mean, all my energy is like all out at home,
Yeah.
So nothing left for
Nothing
me.
left.
Only to animals.
Exactly. So what is the adoption system with Nata Satwa Nusantara? Because I remember, I'm sure you know some of the founders of JAAN as well, Jakarta Animal Aid
Yes.
Network. When I adopted Coco and Kimbo, especially Coco, the first one, Karin, one of the founders, actually did a visitation. So
Is that
she
right? To
visited.
make sure your facility is
Yeah, she
Really?
visited my apartment, and then she saw the surroundings to make sure that there is no cage, because one time she actually told me, yes, I did a visitation, and I was amazed when the person who was interested in adopting a dog said that, yep, this is where the dog is going to live, it's a small cage. And she's like, okay, I don't think this is going to work, so let's not do this. What about your system? How do we adopt?
Similar like that. I mean, we also, I mean, if it's not me, one of my staff come to visiting the adopter, calon adopter, the adopter, not to find out if you're rich or poor, no, is to make sure that the environment is safe, and there's no, what do you call it, celah untuk anjing keluar.
hazards, like, so in case they might be able to get away from the house.
Yeah, to make sure, and is everybody agree to take care of the dogs or cats, not only one person, but everybody in that house must aware that there is pet inside the house and must take good care also, to protect the pets.
Yeah.
So, and they also have to fill in a form. That form is a question, how you gonna take care of the dog or cat, and then we also interview, so an eye to an eye,
Yeah.
an eye to an eye, so we can get their
sense whether they're serious or not.
Good person or bad person.
Yeah, you know. And then from there, we decide, you know. And we also encourage them to come to our direct to our shelter to pick the one they want to adopt.
Yep. Because usually
it's
the
very
dogs
different.
pick you.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean the animals also pick you, not only you, you know.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
if we see only from the social media,
Yeah.
oh, I want to adopt this one, but by the time you come to my shelter, that dog's like,
No.
you know.
Yeah.
No.
That happened to me.
Yeah, right.
Is that right?
That happened
You
to me.
find out a chemistry from another dog.
Yes.
So yeah, they also pick you. So
Yeah.
we very menganjurkan advise
Yeah.
people to come to our shelter, visit our shelter, and
Yes.
to interact first with our animals and then see from there.
Yeah.
And also we also a good friend with John, with Karin.
Yeah.
And we learned so much from them also. So yeah, it's very important to to really make sure that the adopter is responsible and have a long-term commitment to take care of these animals from ours.
Yeah.
And I'm also like, in regards to people who do adopt, I think that's already a step in the right direction because there's still pet stores out there. There's still places, breeders where you can get animals. But I think if you already have it in your mind to adopt, you're already doing one extra step where you're trying to save an animal that's already in need of it.
Yes.
But it's also kind of a challenge to encourage people to adopt because people tend to buy then adopt.
They want that little puppy stage. And,
Yeah.
it's for my
Sometimes
kids
they
and
want puppies, and I was like, that's a lot of
work. Yeah, because
true.
they're
Like
gonna
having
pee
babies.
everywhere.
It's like having a baby.
Yeah.
You know? And you have to be like constantly,
Washing them.
like, I mean, if I want to adopt, I choose senior dogs because they have a low
energy.
already.
They
That's
do.
true.
They're more
You
calm.
don't have to go
Yeah.
through that stage.
Yeah, and they're like, they just sleep and chill and, match my energy right now. I mean, I'm very active actually, but when I'm at home, I want to relax,
You don't have to train them to go to the toilet all over again.
But I mean, I have 5 dogs. One of them is still very active, and he's a mongrel dog,
Oh,
and I take him for running in the morning every morning.
lovely.
So 2K with him, walking.
Okay.
Because with a dog, you can't really run because he's peeing his territory,
He gets distracted.
pooping, and doing his thing. you
Yeah.
know. So I come back at home, drop him, and then I run again.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
But that's good, 2K.
And I also think that it's very important as well for people to adopt because another thing is if you are not prepared for the workload of starting off with a baby animal for a kitten or a puppy, then that is what leads to neglect later on.
Yeah.
It's like it ends up being too much work and then you
Yes,
start
that's
neglecting,
true.
right? So instead of taking on such a big task.
Not to mention if the pet is sick, you need to take them to the vet.
Yeah. Get them vaccinated every
Exactly.
year, once a year. It's very basic.
So
And feed
it's
them
a-
twice a day.
Yes.
And then take them for a walk. Don't
Love
forget
them.
to give them love. Don't forget to play with them. Love. It's like
She's a paw parent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. You used to be a
I
paw
used to be.
parent
I used to be.
too.
Yeah.
To
My
a
wife
pug.
became very allergic suddenly once we had our babies. But nevertheless, had a great time. And my dog is in a wonderful home now.
That's
We've-
great. Thank you so
Anyway,
much,
thank you,
Davina.
Davina, for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Continue your good fight and your efforts
Yes.
as well. All the animals here in Indonesia. All right, we're going to take another short break here on the program, but in the meantime, a quick reminder to follow all our social media accounts. If you haven't already, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube at C Today News. Stay tuned.